Welcome back into the Cowboys Report, made possible today by Roan. I'm rocking one of their commuter collection polos, and you can get 20% off your order by going to roan.com/chatsports and using code chatsports. Today's show, we'll look at 5 potential breakout candidates for the Dallas Cowboys following the conclusion of mandatory minicamp. As you'll see, I am going to asterisk the 5, and we'll go more in depth on some of the offense and defense-focused ones on future videos. But we are in a June-like battle against the Raiders report, and we are a little bit behind, about 1,500. It might sound like a lot. It's really not that many likes. We can easily close the gap on today's video, so I want every single person watching to like it, and we can tell Mitch to suck it in the process. First up, for the breakout candidates at wide receiver, I am cheating off the bat, but whatever, it's fine, it's my show. The Jalens at wide receiver. That's both Jalen Brooks and Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Brooks was the somewhat surprising, if you can have a surprising, 7th-round pick out of South Carolina last year. Didn't play a ton. 6 catches, 64 yards. Was decent when he played. Has drawn some early praise from the coaching staff, from media members who were in attendance for OTAs and minicamp. So, upward trend there. And I'll make note, look, Kavontae, Turpin's... Actually, I'll come back to that point about the receiving room and how the numbers are going to shake out. But Tolbert's the other one. And Dallas wants Jalen Tolbert to be the wide receiver 3. If you got an honest answer out of them, and they said, who would you prefer win that job? Every single one of them would say Tolbert, because they have more draft investment in him. He's played more than these other guys at wide receiver, and they're hoping that he can, establish himself as a reliable piece and continue to grow and have chemistry. He's got more confidence. He's worked really hard, but there are still moments of inconsistency for a young player. They've benefited from Ceedee Lamb not being present at OTAs and minicamp because it allows them more reps with the starters because Lamb's not taking those reps. Now, look, Lamb will be here. He'll make the team. Cooks will be here. He'll make the team. Turpin's going to make it. That's 3 receivers. That leaves maybe 3 spots for Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, Ryan Flournoy, but also others. David Durden, the team likes him coming off the ACL tear. Jalen Cropper could be a sneaky roster candidate. Racey McMath actually could be a great special teamer for Dallas, although the receiving work hasn't been that great. So if you don't win that number 3 job, all of a sudden you're in that receiver 5-6 spot. Do you help on special teams? Because Tolbert wasn't great on special teams last year. So pick a Jalen to be wide receiver 3. B for Brooks, T for Tolbert. It's the pinned comment, so if that ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage. Head down there and go vote. Next up, it's, I think, one of the obvious ones. That's Rico Dowdle, the running back, who will fight for the lead running back role, even though it is going to be a committee in Dallas. Dowdle last year had 89 carries, 17 catches. I thought he should have been more involved, especially later on in the season when the ground game wasn't working that great. This coaching staff has always preferred him to the likes of Malik Davis. And I'll be honest, I almost did insert running back as your breakout candidate, but I already kind of cheated at receiver, so I didn't want to cheat twice because you can make an argument. Deuce Vaughn's going to break out. Argument Malik Davis, Hunter Lipke, Royce Freeman, Snoop Connor. Zeke probably wouldn't count as a breakout. That'd be more of a bounce-back candidate. Freeman maybe kind of falls in that same category there. But there's a giant gap at running back where the impact has not been there. There's not a lot of proven talent and a lot of carries and touches to go around. Somebody has to earn them. I think Dowdle was a better player last year than Ezekiel Elliott was. We'll see if the staff feels the same way. But training camp, the preseason, all that matters, although I suspect might not, I doubt you're going to see Zeke in the preseason. And I'd be surprised if you saw Rico Dowdle get a lot of run in the preseason. When we do this entire video, kind of only offensive candidates, we'll spend more time on this spot because there's a lot of guys who can make the argument for. Today's show is made possible by Roan. They have products for every occasion. We're talking about the world's most comfortable pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, polos like this one, blazers as well. Their signature 4-way stretch fabric is breathable, flexible, and works everywhere from your commute to work to drinks after work to dinner to the golf course. I like to wear this golfing because it's comfortable and it looks good. There's not giant logos on it because I don't like when that's the case. It's minimalist, which I always appreciate. It's unparalleled confidence without all the hassle. The commuter collection also features wrinkle release technology and is 100% machine washable. The commuter collection gets you through any workday and right into whatever comes next. Head to roan.com/chatsports and use code CHATSPORTS. Save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you go to RHONE.com/chatsports and use code CHATSPORTS. Find your corner office comfort, upgrade your closet with Roan. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Next up, the defensive breakout candidates. And maybe this is me speaking it into existence and trying to be overly positive. I am going to put Mazi Smith on here. Mostly because if he doesn't break out, or at least doesn't show signs of promise, oh boy, this team's in trouble. They're still working to get his weight fully back up. The listed weight of 328. Shocker, it wasn't right. They also listed Jalen Cropper as like he grew 3 inches and added 25 pounds. So, sometimes typos happen, and sometimes they're just copy-pasting what it was from last year because the media guide is not the breaking news source that the actual media ends up being. Mazi didn't play very well last year. You need to play well this season. You're thin at defensive tackle. And I wonder if they're going to sign some players. Maybe a UFL player or two could carve out a role. Osa Odigizua, I am hopeful, closes the year strong. He's been a great starter and kind of fades down the stretch fairly consistently. That's a red flag for me. And then it's maybe Chauncey Golson or Junior Fehoko helps at DT. And then it's 7th-round pick Justin Rogers. Carl Davis, I don't think is actually all that good. And UDFA Denzel Daxton was like the number 3 defensive tackle for Illinois last year. It's a bad. We can call it what it is. It's a bad room unless Mazi Smith and Osa plays well, but unless Mazi takes a big step forward. We're going to keep Operation Make Mazi Fat again going. Spam MMFA for me in the comment section of today's video so we can get Mazi's weight up, have him be that impact nose guard he needs to be. Kind of feel almost weird putting Smith and Overshown on this list because they didn't technically do stuff at minicamp, but Overshown appears to be on a good track coming back from his injury. He was really impactful in the preseason. To the point that he was everywhere around the football. It felt like he was going to emerge as a starting linebacker for this team sooner than later. He was going to carve out, that he would have been that team's number 1 linebacker for a good portion of the season. Unfortunately, the torn ACL kind of limited that. Seems like he's actually got a decent chance to be cleared in time for training camp. We'll see how cautious the Cowboys are. But I think year 2, I'd have been all in on him without the ACL tear. I'm still going to be excited by him. The Cowboys have added linebacker talent between Kendricks getting back Overshown, having Liufau. They could always still play Marquise Bell down in the box if they need to as well. I am excited about Overshown. He let it slip. He's going to play that weak side linebacker spot. I think if he looks awesome this year, or at least shows promise of being awesome, it's a really good sign for this defense in 2025 and beyond. So name a player who you think breaks out for the Dallas Cowboys this season. Drop that player name in the comments. I'll put Juanyeh Thomas on here, and I'll be honest, before minicamp, I probably wouldn't have put him on this list, but been a lot of praise from Juanyeh Thomas from some Cowboys media and from Mike McCarthy, saying, quote, I thought he made a big jump last year. He's been dynamic on special teams and what you want, particularly this time of the year, to see young players in a different light. And Juanyeh just has so much personality. He's such a bright light. When he was given opportunity at safety, he stepped up. Juanyeh is clearly a great example of a young player that's excelled with the opportunities he's been given. It'll be awesome to see him take another step. Now, Patrick Walker projected him as a starter. I don't know if that's going to happen, but when he got to play last year, I was pretty impressed. He made several plays. He stepped up when called upon, and I think with Mike Zimmer in charge, this team is open to shuffling the order of the safeties. You got Malik Hooker, who's a free safety. Donovan Wilson is at his best going north-south, specifically going north. He's kind of, more that kind of strong safety type. Marquise Bell was a strong safety. Juanyeh Thomas can kind of do a bit of everything. I don't know if he's going to end up emerging truly as a starter, but at minimum, he's going to be a huge special teamer. And I think that's a big deal with the way they've changed the rules and everything. And if you can carve out a bigger role than that, good. Then maybe you can look to move on from Malik Hooker or Donovan Wilson in the not-too-distant future. Those contracts are movable. Could make them surprise trade options if Juanyeh Thomas plays so well, and we'll figure out what to do with Israel Mukuamu as well. But I want to see Thomas take another step forward because I think it's good to have cheap young players who are playing above their expected skill level. And we'll have more Cowboys videos for you guys every single day, multiple times per day. So if you haven't already, join us here at the Cowboys Report by subscribing for free.